Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. First, excuse my voice. It is completely horrible, but my voice is a signature of what I have been through in the past 2 weeks. I have lost my voice going through everything that has been going on. We know we have a great show today. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to catch up on. You know, last week I was on the road and we talked while I was on the road. I was on my way. I was on my way from the debate night and the debate stage, and where I seen President Trump pull up in his airplane and all of the people out in Pennsylvania gathering to see J.D. Vance and President Trump get off the plane. Now, they said that Vice President Kamala Harris, she didn't have a big fanfare when she got off the plane. It wasn't their thing, right? So what's going on? President Trump, another assassination attempt on President Donald J. Trump. Okay. So word is that he was on his golf course and somebody was about, I think he said 500 feet. Excuse me. How is anybody getting within 500 feet of a former president? So the Senate, the GOP senators, they held a hearing and they're pushing for more Secret Service for the president. So they're saying, look, this is the second assassination attempt on the president. So what needs to happen now is security needs to be beefed up like it is on normal presidential elections. I mean, for normal presidents, right? So they now are asking for the type of security for President Trump. And why shouldn't they have it? He's a former president. Just because you don't like him, I am a citizen, the laws still apply. It doesn't apply. Just because you don't like me doesn't take me out as my rights. So they want the same protection that the current sitting president has for President Trump. Now, maybe that needs to be tuned up a little bit because maybe he doesn't need as much, but he needs something more. Like there's somebody's going after him. So who is trying to shoot President Trump? Do we know? Right? We have these offshooters. Now, the Senate is saying that the Democrats are the ones that are stirring this up. They're saying, well, look, all your rhetoric saying this guy is going to kill democracy, World War III, everything that he does is wrong, is stirring up these people, and we may have copycats in the future. So how does that make the people that support President Donald Trump feel? Right? The Democrats have gone hog-tied crazy on making sure and pushing their message, but they're trying to win. So I think in America, and when we talk about elections, we have to look at what winning is, right? What is winning when we're going through our motions, right? Everybody wants to win, but how far are you going to go to win? Are you going to try to assassinate your opponent? Are you going to try to assassinate your opponent's credibility and character? Are you going to use the justice system against them? Use popular and public opinion against them? Because this is what's been happening, people. So now I don't know if this is fair. And a friend of mine, Joe Trinkle, out in Puerto Rico, hey, Joe, he said to me today, if Kamala wins, will there be another sitting president who wasn't voted in by the people? People, Democrats, You did not vote Vice President Kamala Harris in. Now, if you're happy with her, fine. But when you talk about democracy, and when you talk about, killing democracy, and then you push somebody into position and then do all these weird things. Now, some of the things she's doing is weird, like the whole not talking to the press and then the whole jumping up. Now, the debate, remember I was telling you last week, she was sound biting the debate. Now, I haven't seen any more sound bites of the debate. All of that went away in our short-term memory. But where are we going with this election? If one side will kill to win, and I'm not saying that the Democrats are sending somebody to assassinate President Trump, but it damn sure is somebody that doesn't like him. Okay? So after the debate last week, the Congressional Black Caucus happened. So every year from early September, maybe the second week in September, all of the Black Congress people across the country get together and do a huge caucus. It is celebrated amongst Black culture, and they did it up this weekend. Now, I have been to caucuses pre-COVID that have been way bigger, way more attended, but I can never take away from the information and the love that's shown and the body of African Americans that come together during this time. Now, it is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization, so there's two Congress people that are not involved: Congressman Wesley Hunt, and Congressman Byron Donalds out of Florida. So I tried this year to maybe push the envelope a little bit, but it didn't happen. But at the same time, I still big up the Congressional Black Caucus. But let me tell you the Jedi mind trick that they did. Remember when they were pushing for Vice President Harris and President Trump to have their debate, right? Remember we were talking about that. So they were pushing, Donald Trump had another date for the debate, right? So Kamala was, I want to go on this date, I want to go on this date. Well, what happened was the sequence, okay, and this was to secure Black America, and then she can keep running from here, because spend all the money here, the Congress people are spending the money. Now check this out. Here you go. So we have the debate. Remember, they forced the debate. We wanted it on ABC, and we wanted this date. Now, directly following this debate, okay, they had the Congressional Black Caucus. So now that was super momentum. It is super momentum for Kamala Harris and Walz, because everybody there was in there. You had the Philadelphia party. You had the New Orleans party. I mean, they did it up. You had the history makers. They had a whole shindig from Wednesday to 14th, right? Debate was on what, the 12th? Wednesday to 14th to now the 19th or whatever Saturday was. And so at the end of that, Vice President Harris, she came all Black everything in a sequin dress. Look it up, or maybe they'll show it here. But she came all Black everything in her Black accent. Hello, Soros. Oh, my brothers and sisters. How are you? And she just giggled through it all, and she had her Black accent. And a lot of people talked about that. A lot of people talked about, what's up with homegirl in the Black accent again. I guess when you get in the room, I'm gonna give her some cool points. I guess when you get in the room with Black folks, you want to emulate Black folks. I don't know. But she put on an accent again, and everybody didn't like that. So again, the Congressional Black Caucus, it was highly attended. You had Jadakiss in the Locks. You had Omari Hardwick of Power. Of course, you had Al Sharpton, MC Light. I seen Chuck D, Rodney Red Grant, the NMPA, the National Newspaper Publishers Association, had a great event and well attended in the new Conrad Hilton building. It's all surrounding this Marriott Marquis in DC. It's a Black-owned conglomerate that owns about 2,500 Black-owned hotels around the country, and they own this Marriott Marquis. So it's a festive event. Shout out to Brandy Jackson and her event with Punchline. I mean, we really did it up, had good food. They were serving shrimp, lobster, lamb, drinks all night. They had the pasta station. But you know what they were saying while they were giving us the food and, here's the land of milk and honey, and this is what we want to see. This is how you pay us for our votes, is you feed us. You give us something to drink, and we're going to vote for you. Because I heard one party saying, I won't mention the name, hey, I'm going to feed you. I'm going to let you drink. I'm going to let all night long. But you go vote and bring 10 people with you. So the Democrats' ground game is really strong right now. They are padding their deck, okay, with numbers. They're getting out here and getting numbers. And see, I wouldn't be surprised that if this race is hair tight close, less than 100,000 votes, less than 50,000 votes that we're counting in these states, maybe one or two states. So, but Trump, he said, look, I'm not debating again, which I think is good, because I think that the Democrats' ground game, like I felt that Kamala did horrible in the debate. I felt that she was so scripted and so mechanic. And some people think that's good. But I felt like she was so scripted and so mechanic that I did not want to hear her, right? But she was hitting her she was hitting her sound bites. So it really didn't matter what happened on the debate stage if you're not watching it, right? But the sound bite sounded good when they cut her in and punched her out. It sounded good. I'm here for you. She was making real sound bites. She wasn't even talking to Trump in the debate. She was going for the people. She grabbed the face. I am here for you. And I don't know if it worked or not, but they said after that debate, the polls didn't really go up or down, right? I mean, they said that she might have got a couple points extra here and there, but the Trump supporters are Trump supporters. Ain't nothing changing what we know and what we think and what our mission is. And that's what you got to understand. And that's okay. It's okay. People, I don't want to say people look at me as a Black Republican, as a sellout, because they don't. Because people know that I'm not a sellout. I am looking for a new direction for my community. The direction that my community is going in right now is not working. Okay? So I am looking for a new direction. I am looking for a place where we can take our ideas, where we can blossom our entrepreneurship, our businesses, where we can take our movies and all these things and thrive in America. Right now, America has us in a struggle zone where inflation is going to keep going up. And now everybody is looking to pull their money out of America if Vice President Kamala Harris wins. And a lot of people are scared. A lot of people don't know either. A lot of people are going with the fanfare. And that's what a lot of people's problem is too, is that how are you going along with this fanfare when she really doesn't know how to handle the economy? Where Coach Walsh is trying to lead a high school basketball team. And we got Putin. We got Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is. Sorry, Kim, don't come see me. But we've got all of these threats across America. And I always say, I swear I wish I could be down with the women's movement right now. But this ain't it. You know, they're forcing the situation. And they knew that President Biden was unfit months ago when they should have allowed Kennedy to get in that race and debate. But they said no debates. So you, Democrats, should have a problem with that. But you don't, because you're puppets going along with the system. And that's what we are fighting against. So I'm going to take a break. And when I come back here on Millennium News 24, when I come back, we're going to talk about where we're going with this. Because again, we've got 50 days, 52, 53 days, people, to get this right. And it's hard out here. And we'll be back on Millennium News TV with your host, Jania Butler, and the New American Perspective. And we're back with your host, Jania Butler, and this is the New American Perspective. So let me talk about the distraction. Have you guys heard about your boy P. Diddy? I know we talk a lot of politics here, right? But now your boy Puffy has been arrested and detained. As of yesterday, Sean Puffy Combs of Bad Boy Entertainment has been arrested, has been detained, and we don't know where this is going, and charged with a RICO, a gang charge, a mafia charge, saying that he has used his Bad Boy and other enterprises to run a ring of sex trafficking, drugging, and everything else that you can think about. Everybody's big thing right now is the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube that he had. For these freak-offs, they said they got the videos of the freak-offs. They've got audio of them talking about it. Puffy then talked to some of the witnesses, tried to talk them off the stage, give them a couple hours, keep them quiet, talk them out. He's in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say that a predator, we realize that he has gone to jail. Now he's being detained and he's innocent until proven guilty. And he pleaded not guilty, by the way. He pleaded not guilty. So now what we're talking about is that Puffy actually did all these things, right? So Puffy was a man of my youth, you know. He came out. I believe that I was there with him all along when he started with Jodeci and Uptown Records, and Andre Harrell fired him. But Puffy has a reign of death around him. If those of you who don't know, long ago at City College, in one of Puffy's first events while he was attending Howard University, he didn't graduate Howard, but I think he got a doctorate from Howard now, but he didn't graduate at the time, and he had a party at City College here in New York. There was a stampede, and 8 people were killed. And they blamed Puffy. I believe he was sued. And they blamed Puffy and the fact that they didn't have enough security and the doors were locked. So that was his first incident. Then he stole Al B. Sure's Baby's mom, Forever My Lady, if you know the song Forever My Lady. It's like a dream. You know, I always get my words wrong. I'm holding you close. I'm feeling you wrong. That one. So Puffy started dating Albie Shore's baby's mother, Kim Porter. And you'll see Quincy, who has been in movies, who now identifies as Puffy's son, is actually Albie Shore's son. So Puffy stole Albie Shore's family after he put him out, Albie Shore and all that, Uptown Records. They fired him at Uptown Records. He created Bad Boy with Clive Davis. Long Ring of Death. He had a Notorious B.I.G. and a lot of success under Bad Boy, The Lox, Little Kim. We know that Biggie Smalls was murdered in California, and right now, the murder of Biggie Smalls is being investigated. You have your guy Keefe D, who's actually in prison now, squealing on Puffy, saying that Puffy gave up $1 million to put a hit out on Tupac. So they're kind of blaming the whole Biggie Tupac situation on Puffy. You got the nightclub shooting with J-Lo and Shine, who ended up doing 8 years and now is an he lives in the Belize now. He's a prime minister in Belize, maybe the president one day. Shine, they had a shooting. Somebody's face got shot off. The girl alleges today that Puffy shot her. But she said that money and prestige never made it through. So then you've got your Andre Harrell died. Kim Porter, his ex-girlfriend, died of pneumonia and some weird circumstances. And then the coroner died right after them. Craig Mack died of AIDS. We're finding out now that Craig Mack had AIDS when he died. Broke under Puffy. The Lox fought Puffy for their rights to their publishing. Puffy just recently gave everybody their publishing back, Danny D. Kane and everybody that was under him. But they said it really, he had already drained the publishing out. People are not playing their music like they have in the past, right? Okay, so now lead us up to this year or last year when the feds bust into Puffy's house. And his houses in Miami and LA, and found all of this stuff after he was after a young lady named Cassie, who was his girlfriend of 10 or 15 years, went to New York and said that he had raped her, sex trafficked her, drugged her, and did all these things. And so we seen it. We seen the video. Hopefully you've seen the video already. We seen the video, and it was horrifying. We now see this person who everybody's talking about how Mayor Adams gave him the key last year to the city. They're like, how could you give this guy the key to the city? Yeah, Mayor Adams. How could you give this guy the key to the city? And so he got the key to the city. He was running around. And then we find out that he's this monster. Now, some of us knew that he may have been a monster, and this long line of death and this long line of just mayhem, right? So he's like mayhem. Everybody that he's around either is dead, broke, or tripping, and you got Mary J. Blige, who's paying her husband $60,000 a year to be with the woman that they was with. I don't know. But all of this is happening. And then Puffy's baby's mom, Misa Hilton, she was mad at Puffy. Now, she was mad at Puffy a few months ago because her son was in a car accident, or no, he was caught for drunken driving. Justin. And so now and then it's out that Justin might not even be Puffy's. He might be the bodyguard Wolf that was killed out there with Big Meech. This is too much. So yes, I believe Puffy should be behind bars because we for decades, okay, all the rest of us in the industry have been wondering how this man has been getting away with murder, allegedly. Okay, because we see what's going on. Everybody see what's going on. We heard about the parties, and most of us were not invited to the party. I haven't been ever invited to the party. So not that I would want to go with 1,000 lube bottles. You know, it seems like you get a bottle, you get a bottle, you get a bottle, and you get a bottle. What's happening? You know, what are you gonna say? Just grease yourself up. Come on and slide in here. Everybody sliding around. We on drugs, popping pills. It's ecstasy. It's going on. Puffy was having a ball. But I must say, before he goes all the way down, I must say that, you know, this is like some Al Capone stuff with Puffy. His reign as, you know, the P. Diddy, because this has been going on for years. And he's been allegedly killing people, obviously drugging people. He's got arson on this indictment. Okay? There's a lot of stuff on this indictment that is just terrible. But the reason why I'm bringing this up now, and by the way, his sons, only two of his sons showed up. Quincy, which is Al B. Shore's son, but I also saw Al B. Shore and Quincy together at the White House. We are all kind of wondering what that relationship is really like. We know it's strained. We don't know if Al B. Shore, when Quincy was young, had felt neglected or vice versa. Quincy felt neglected and Al B. Shore felt some type of way because Puffy was trying to take his child that's his twin. Puffy did a lot. But the reason why I'm bringing this up in our great political show, in the New American Perspective, and the reason why I'm dragging that out, because you see how consumed that we just got with that, right? That's because Puffy is the sacrificial lamb. He is the sacrificial lamb. And the reason why I say that is because Kamala, she just bombed at the Congressional Black Caucus. Okay? She didn't get the rise that she wanted. They set up the debate. The Congressional Black Caucus directly following it. She do the grand finale. Boom. Home stretch. Nah, we're not sold yet. So, and we don't like your accent. You ain't got to talk to us no type of way. Because I ain't black if I'm not voting for you. Now, look. It's a distraction. Puffy is a sacrificial lamb for a distraction. Now, you arrest Puffy. Look at the age group that pays attention to Puffy. This is the age group that we need to engage in voting. Correct, people? This is it. But here comes Puffy with his stuff. Now you detain him. Oh my God, Puffy behind bars. Now we start thinking, Epstein, is he going to hang up? Are they going to kill him? Who's in the freak offs? Bill Cosby? Jail time, jail time, jail time. We start thinking about Weinstein. He's all broke up in the jail. Now Puffy. And of course, R. Kelly. But the reality of this, and remember, this is a RICO charge. So there are other people involved. So what are they going to do, people? There are other people involved in this. Kevin Liles stepped down, and I saw him last night at the Kodak Black concert, stepped down at 300 Entertainment, from 300 Entertainment, which I thought he should have stepped down during the YSL trial, because Kevin Lyles, if you guys are paying attention, the YSL trials, let's go to Fannie. Remember, this is all political. Fannie down in Atlanta, who is prosecuting Trump's case, also brought a RICO charge against a young group of rappers. Okay, you got Young Thug, who's in jail and on trial, and then you got all of his YSL other members. You got 1, 2 that told, maybe 3. Gunna, if you know these people, these are all Atlanta rappers, but they were on a RICO charge. Distraction. Now, that RICO was under Kevin Lyles. These were all his artists. So he goes in there and say, oh, no, I didn't know they were a gang. I thought they was going to get him then. You didn't know they were a gang, but you giving them all this money and watching them and cheering for them and applauding them all along to say this stuff, see the bodies dropping. And if you've listened to anything of that trial, it's like out of this world. I mean, what these young kids are doing out there. So I'm glad that they pull people over to the side. Now back to Puffy. Kevin Lyles resigns after Puffy gets a RICO charge. Kevin Lyles and Puffy very close. So he steps down, gets out the way. Maybe just because somebody did it. Because the interesting part about Puffy was he was running through the streets. He knew he was about to get arrested because he was in Harlem. I think some people saw him in the Bronx and he was looking all like he wanted to tell somebody something. Puffy, we love you. We know that karma is a motherfucker, and you might have to excuse my language. We know that that karma is something else, and it may be coming to hit you. But we love you for your hard work and your dedication on everything else. Now, I don't think that you had to have these freak offs like you was doing. I think you had lost your mind in this, right? And somebody needed to reel you back in years ago, but they did it. So it got out of control. And now you got 1,000 bottles of lube and you got all these people telling on you, and it's going to take your money and they're going to take you down. And so black men and men of color around the world, understand this. The rules are different for different communities. And that's just a reality. That's just a fact. That's something that we work on and we push for every day. But it's the truth. And in America, when black men get to their pinnacle and their peak, they're somehow knocked down, all the way back down to $0. So you have this young man who we've seen from when he was a skinny Howard kid work his way up to the very top of the food chain, nothing higher than him, to get knocked down because your sexual activity was against the law. You hurt people. You didn't have to do that part. And so we've got to keep it straight. We've got to tighten our skirt up and pull our situation together a little stronger. Now, going into 2025 and figuring out what we need to do next, we really got to take a look at this history because all of us played a part in this. All of us played a part, whether it was the music, right? In the context of the music and what we're pushing this fantasy life, because that's what Puffy did. Puffy created a fantasy life. And now they're using this life that he created. Now he's using this life that he created to hurt people, and now it's coming back. But it's a distraction for this election, people. Right now, with 50 days left, Puffy is locked in the jail. We are more concerned about Puffy than we are Kamala and Donald Trump, and they know it. But we can't be. This is the most important election of our lives. You know which way I'm voting, people. You know which way I'm going. But which way are you going and why? Are you going to vote for Kamala Harris because you don't like President Trump? Are you going to vote for President Trump because you don't like Kamala Harris? I mean, what are we talking about? Why are you voting? Are you voting because the media is telling you to go in one way or another? But I want you to take a look at these things. The inflation. Our country is changing right before our eyes. Some people want it to change. Some people are willing to don't need the government in their lives for the next 20 years. They're looking 20 years into the future and getting ready for that. Electric cars right now. Everything that we're not ready for, and we need to get ourselves ready. I believe we need America first to get ourselves ready in America and get ready for this war ahead of us. So America can be a great world power yet again. Now, there's some people like China that's doing their thing around us. Okay, we are not the number one world power. But in order for us to be the number one world power, you're going to have to include this color that's a part of America. You cannot do it alone. This is the New American Perspective. I am your host, Jania Butler, and I will see you next week. I am a citizen. Do your civic duty and vote. Register now before it's too late, and we will see you here on Millennium News 24 all this week. I love you. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.